Hello everyone, welcome you all. I hope you are keeping yourself in good health. So moving on to the session, today we will revise chapter 1 of Social Studies, the Globe, a model of the earth. I expect that you have read the chapter and gone through the notes. In today's presentation, we will talk about the shape of the earth, the globe, axis of the earth, poles, equator, hemispheres, latitudes, longitudes, and the global grid. You see so many things around you, like fields, oceans. You think all these are flat, like the way to your school is also flat. So you must be thinking that the earth is also flat. Even our ancestors thought that the earth is flat, which has an edge in the end. If something crosses this edge, it will fall into the unknown. All these things were imagination of humans because we did not understand the true nature of planet Earth. If you want to see the curving surface of the earth, you would have to climb very high into the sky in a rocket. But it is not the easy way to study earth. So geographers have developed a different way to see the earth on a smaller scale. For example, globes and maps. Now, to see the earth as it look right now, for example, if you want to see where India is, where Africa is, and you want to see them as they are on our planet earth, what will you do? Do we need to go to space every time? So for our convenience, geographers have invented something. It is called the globe. It is small round model of the earth. It shows us the shape and location of continents, oceans and countries. It can be turned around a line passing through it. Yes, this line is known as the axis of the earth. The earth rotates from west to east. When the earth rotates, it's not exactly upright. In fact, it is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees. There is an imaginary line on this tilted earth which is called axis. The axis is not straight. It is also tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees to the vertical. The earth constantly rotates around it. There are two endpoints of the axis of rotation known as poles. To the north is the North Pole and to the south is the South Pole. There is an imaginary line which divides the earth into two equal halves. That is equator. Yes, the equator divides the earth horizontally. To the north of the equator is northern hemisphere. To the south of the equator is southern hemisphere. Students, do you know if we want to go to any required place, we need to know the address of that place. But if you want to locate any place on the earth, what would you do? There are some imaginary lines which help us to locate places on earth, which are known as latitudes and longitudes. First, we will talk about latitudes. You can see some horizontal lines on the globe. These are known as latitudes. They are parallel to the equator. They tell that how a place is far from the equator towards north or south. The distance between them is equal throughout. They form complete circles except poles, as poles are points. Their length decrease when you move from equator to poles. There are 181 degrees of latitude in all, 90 degrees in the northern hemisphere and 90 degrees in the southern hemisphere, and one the equator itself. Some important lines of latitudes: 90° north at North Pole, Arctic Circle at 66.5° north, Tropic of Cancer at 23.5° north, Equator 0°, Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5° south, Antarctic Circle at 66.5° south, South Pole at 90° south. Students, can you see the red line passing through the globe? This is 0° longitude, which passes through Old Royal Observatory at Greenwich near London. It is also known as Greenwich Meridian. 180° east and 180° west longitude meet and form a single line on the opposite side of the world, known as 180° longitude or international date line. The vertical lines running from north to south pole are called longitudes. These lines tell us that how much a place is from east or west of the prime meridian. The distance between them is the farthest apart at the equator, and when we move toward poles, they come together at a point. All the longitudes are semicircles and move from the North Pole to the South Pole. There are 360 degrees of longitude in all, 180 degrees of longitudes east of the prime meridian and 180 degrees of longitude west of the prime meridian. The global grid. The latitudes and longitudes intersect each other at right angles. They together form network of lines on the globe, and this is known as global grid, which help us to locate any place on the globe accurately. Students, do you know the largest globe in the world is called Earth? It is located in Yarmouth in USA, and it is a three-dimensional scale model of our Earth. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Soon you will receive an assignment related to this chapter. All the best. Thank you. Stay home. Stay safe.